Hello, Master Manifester. Today we're talking about stopping shame spirals so you can manifest your intentions. So, what causes self shaming and how can you stop feeling bad about yourself and stop it from siphoning off your self esteem so that you can manifest what you want? Well, let's look at some of the sources of shame. The main process of shame is a preset, an association, an unconscious one, that if you do something wrong, there is something wrong with you, that you are the work, that you are the results, that they apply directly to your sense of self-worth. And it destabilizes your system. It slows new identity narratives, sometimes completely stalls it. It tunnels your attention into survival systems, and it uses up a lot of energy. So guilt is when you've acted against your values. Guilt says, I did something bad according to my moral code. And it will often lead you to try to rectify whatever that thing was. But shame says, I am something bad. I am bad because I couldn't accomplish this thing, be perfect, perfectly execute this program that I have in my imagination. And it comes from external expectations and from, matrix programs, the matrix construct that we live in, the collective consciousness. And these expectations are that you should look, think, act in some particular way. And everyone has a different program for that. So this is why seeking external validation is so bad for mental health in general, but it's also very unhelpful for manifestation because you need to be the dominant state of your reality. If you are following other reality scripts, you can't rewrite your own. And we tend to think in the early days, our identity is actually based on our caretaker, whoever took care of us as a baby. We basically borrowed their identity until we were able to develop our own. And we also borrowed their nervous system regulation. So a lot of our unconscious programs comes from our early environments in our developmental phases. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of programs. They're unconscious and they're making decisions behind the scenes. If then protocols, if this happens, then do this, right? And then there's also emotional contagion, getting sucked into other people's experience and emotions because of our mirror neurons and our mirroring of other people's conscious states, their emotions and their interpretations of those emotions. So it's also something you need to be mindful of. It is always going to happen, but being mindful can help you break those old programs. And this is how you stop the emotional spirals. You perfect the pause, recognize that all of these programs are automated, but they are illusions. You need to build you for you. The experiences that you want to have can't be based solely on matrix outcomes, on physical outcomes. Because once you get to that point, the story keeps going. You just continue. So when you're reprogramming your neural pathways, you need to remember that there will always be conflicts. There will always be context and contrast. The contrast creates context because without it, we don't even know if something's good or bad or if we like it or not, right? Now, when you're looking at something about yourself that makes you feel shameful and it makes you feel a lot of emotions like uncomfortable chest feelings, stomach tightness in your body, learn to recognize these signals and just notice. Don't do anything at first. Just recognize the signals and just say it's safe to recognize this. This will help open up your filters, your mental filters that let in how much reality matches your identity, right? And doing the pause and recognizing and accepting whatever it is that you recognize within those feelings of shame clears that out. Then you can start the new program through affirmations, visualization, journaling, whatever works best to reprogram the unconscious presets through repetition and consistency. And every time you notice a thought or a feeling that says, I am bad, I am not good enough, I am not enough for me, come back with, this is an if-then protocol, Come back with, no, I am always enough. I was never not enough, and I can never not be enough. I love me. I am with me. I am connected to me. And that helps break the cycle and build new program protocols for when you think about yourself. And it expands your sense of self. It creates a more flexible identity so you can move into those new manifestations, those new story patterns. And then once you get the manifestation, of course, that whole story will be built around it. And then you're going to want something else after that, which is how the system works. That's how the game is played. Now, a game's not meant to be won. It's meant to be played. But I hope this has helped you to understand a little bit more about, what the shame is, where it's coming from. A lot of it is the mismatch of your brain's expectation of you versus reality and those mental preset associations, those automations in your brain that were installed without your knowledge or consent. But this is the matrix. We're all automated beings trying to stabilize and notice and be mindful observers as much as we possibly can while still enjoying the story. Because if you were always noticing and you were not always automated, you would not be enjoying the story very much. You wouldn't be in your character. You wouldn't be feeling and thinking. You wouldn't be having big breakthroughs and growths. You would just be nothing else. Nothing else to do but just to watch. And sometimes that's good, but you want a balance. You want a balance of things. But I hope you know that you are good enough exactly as you are in every way that you are right now. And in every way that you're going to evolve through your story. You're good enough. You're perfect, perfectly imperfect. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and sign up for the Method Muse newsletter in the description below.